What's up guys, welcome back to another video. This weekend we are
sitting in the passenger seat of my own car.
sitting in the passenger seat of my own car.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, thanks.
You drive.
We're driving from the passenger seat.
We converted it to left-hand drive.
We are competing at Mount Smart this weekend for round 2 of D1Nz, and we're finally getting some testing before an event. I'm not driving though, as you can see. Darren's going to be driving today. We got a half an hour slot this weekend, or today, what's today, Friday, before the event to do some testing. We made a fair few changes. Darren's been working pretty hard this week. For those who didn't keep up on social media, we had the gearbox out, or Darren had the gearbox out multiple times, trying to work out this clutch issue we've had, and added some mechanical power steering and stuff like that. We'll go over that a bit later, but yeah, he's been working pretty hard this week, so he's going to drive it today on his GT membership. Obviously, yeah, at Hampton Downs today, so same track that we're driving at last week, or last round, just different layout. But yeah, obviously you get to witness how freaking powerful this thing is and how fast it is.
I'm quite concerned, being a JZ, that it's not going to have enough grunt to get around the track, but we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we'll be able to get some good testing in. Just for obviously Mount Smart isn't a track you want to go to and be testing the car, so with some pretty big changes. So yeah, if everything goes smoothly, head back to the workshop, load her all up and head out to Mount Smart.
Yep. So yeah, obviously we did some mechanical power steering changes and stuff like that, so we're just going to make sure that it all works. Obviously you don't want to go into a concrete round having the steering jam up or throw a belt or do anything we don't want it to do. So today's more just probably not so much pushing the car to its limits and feeling it out, it's more making sure it's going to work and be reliable. And yeah, we'll just do a couple of laps and we'll see how we go, and we'll take you guys along with us, so let's see how we go.
Yeah. What, is something broken or?
Yeah. It's definitely toe
3
related.
minutes it took you.
No, Darren said that was broken before he drifted it.
Yeah, as soon as you enter it, Ben was like, whoa, whoa.
Let's set you up.
Yeah, that was, yeah, not my
What's it
fault.
actually done?
Set you up.
Does it just come off or?
Nah,
Got active toe.
fucking hooked it.
3-wheel steer, eh?
When you got on the gas then it was like, whoa! We were like, whoa, fucking
I was like,
hell.
whoa, and I felt the car go like that. I was like, ah.
Did it feel funny at all? Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, just, yeah.
Oh,
I was
good
like,
though.
oh, it goes right though.
Still blaze the lap.
Yeah.
Blazes tight.
Still like pull backwards in the
All the arms are actually look like they're attached.
What if one of them's loose? Look, it's
like
just
the
like
power steering.
one of them might be loose.
What's
Look at that, look at that. Whatever, look at that. The whole knuckle's moving.
Oh wow.
Must be the upper arm.
Do that again.
Set it up.
Imagine that on initiation into the wall, eh?
That looks like
It feels like it's moving heaps.
It was, bro. When you come back around here, he just
It looked
gave it a
like
bit.
well
Yeah.
over 100
As soon
mil.
as I was like, brrrr, and it was just like, whoa.
When we went to
And I was
enter
like,
again,
oh.
then it was like it felt like the car was going to drive us like that.
Yeah, and I was like, no, no,
the wheel
no.
was going to spit out the side.
It looked
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, something's come off there.
Very, very loose.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, send it.
Strap?
Change the tyres.
Yeah, maybe he just needs a new tyre.
Go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Holy shit.
yeah, no, that's the front traction arms off.
Yeah.
It's off.
Well, we did say we didn't like how much the wheel was back of the guard, so.
Jesus Christ.
Hard on your gear, Darren.
How did that toe feel?
Interesting.
Out then in, and
Yeah.
out then in.
Grippy
And
boy.
it drifted hard too over there.
Oh yeah.
No adjustment will fix it.
So we did one lap and we ran into some issues with the car straight away. Drove good, but we felt a little bit of a funny feeling in the back suspension straight away when we took off, and did a whole lap, come to the straight again, do another lap, and the whole rear wheel was moving. As you can see in that clip that I just showed before, it was this bolt here. You can see that's done a little bit of damage to the knuckle, but wouldn't have done anything structurally wrong to it. It's obviously just bent that front part there, but as you can see, that's how much movement we had in the wheel. Not ideal, but we're just trying to find some spaces that go in there for the bolt, and then yeah, obviously that's the bolt. My old man went out there on the scooter and found the bolt, but as you can see it's damaged it. So we'll see if we can fix it today, just to try and get some more laps in, and I think they're trying to find those spaces now, so hopefully we can find the spaces and get it back together and get a couple more laps in, or come up with a way to get it back out there for today and see what happens. But as you can see, car went pretty good considering. Steering works, that's the plus. The boys are out there looking for it now. Did you find one? Oh yeah.
That's the, I would say that's the outer one.
Yeah, yeah.
And as the bolts come out, it's obviously wrenched that arm one way and it's broke this one. Which I'll go back to the shop and have a look and see if I've got Wisefab. I've got a kit there, so.
Yeah. So basically saying is you broke my car.
Well, you broke it.
I
and
broke
then it finally gave up when I drove it. That's what's happened.
Oh. I'll see how it is.
Yes.
But yeah, so obviously we found the part that we were looking for, one of the parts that we were looking for, and because it's damaged we're going to have to find some extra parts now anyway. So I know you're pretty happy with how it drove though, eh?
It does feel good, but obviously unknown now with the rear.
Yeah.
But it's
But
good to
mechanically it
obviously,
drove good.
the pump felt good.
Yeah.
Obviously it's good to know that this didn't happen at Mount Smart.
Yeah.
So
Because you probably wouldn't have been able to find the cause. Being a wall, if I had rubbed the wall and hit the wall and hit the wheel on the wall, then
you would have assumed this broke when you hit the wall or something.
Yeah,
And then we would have blamed you, and
Yeah.
everything would have been your fault.
but everything is always my fault. So.
Even this is your fault.
Yeah,
but-
well that's my fault and I didn't even do anything, but that's all good. But yeah, no, so obviously it's good to come here, do this is exactly what we did this day. We obviously found now that there was an issue with the car, whether it was not checked or the bolt wound out or whatever the reason is, we'll work that out. But yeah, obviously we did what we wanted to achieve by making sure the car handles the way it should and delivers power the way it should. I mean, other than that, probably won't get any more testing now, eh? Other than
well, I'll go back and grab this, and then we might come back quickly and
yeah,
see if we can just do another lap and make sure everything else is working fine.
yep,
Wouldn't mind trying to put a little bit more front grip in the car. Just that's one thing I noticed when the front tyres are cold, which you're going to have at Mount Smart, that you can't get any heat in them there. So
yep,
if we can get a little bit more grip in the front, that's going to help you this weekend.
yep.
Definitely had like decent rear grip, but it just did feel quite washy in the front if you push it. So
Do you think it might be from like ride height or something in the front, because it does feel light in the front?
front is high, but it's obviously you're trying to get more grip in the rear, and we were just running a pretty low tire pressure, like we're down on 16 psi, so that's pretty much regulation minimum.
Yeah.
So which is good because we wanted to test the car like how we're potentially going to run it this weekend. So
obviously if it's slower too, it probably won't be as front end loose. On a big track like this, obviously you'll need a lot of the front car. So.
But then also Mount Smart is like a run up, and you can't like do a big weight transfer. So like you kind of got to come in and confidently just flick the car in. Which is you're going to want some front end to do that.
Yep.
And like I said, it's all throttle on the initiation, like from leaving the line to the entry, you're pretty much full throttle, so it's going to also unload the front and become a little bit washy. So you are allowed to do a handbrake initiation there, but obviously the more
committed you are, the better. Cool.
But I'll run back and get these, and then we can
do more.
slap it back in.
Break it some more.
Yeah, find the next weakness.
Yeah, so that's the plan. Heard it straight from the man. Yeah, obviously we're going to get these parts. No point in taking the camera for that. We're going to try to fix this, and then hopefully the next clip will be us testing it again on the next lap. So stick around, and yeah, we'll see how we go.
Take two.
Take two. Hopefully the last take.
Yeah. And cut. No idea.
I think you need this, Mike.
You drive.
Okay, that'd be nice. I would like to drive quad circuit, it looks fun. Hold the pepper.
Yeah, some throttle mark.
Favourite. Fucking good one.
Good for leaving that open. Are you ready this time?
Oh no, are you ready this time?
Oh, so is this Jay-Z junk ready this time?
Alright, try to keep it together this time, please.
We'll see what we can do. No promises.
All the promises.
The fluid might need a little top up in the steering.
Oh yeah.
It just feels a little bit stiff on the just driving back in then.
Yeah, yeah.
But it could be getting warm, like.
Yeah, well the temps were up then to 110, so
Yeah,
shouldn't have got hot that fast, I wouldn't have thought, but
it's pretty full throttle section. G'day, mate.
You know what?
like, looks like it goes right. Was it better when I put it on high boost? Did you see when I put it on high boost? No.
Yeah,
Could you feel the difference or no?
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why there's a low boost.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said when we were at round 1. I just put it on high boost straight away.
Yeah, I've had cars before with low boost settings, and it never sees low boost.
I have used low boost, but now that my car's actually grippy, I'm like, no. It's not so much the grunt I need, it's the extra torque that high boost has.
Yeah.
The
The bottom end comes on pretty strong.
Feels good though.
Yeah.
The
Like
last one was
obviously
definitely on.
Was it a little
Steering
bit
feels
grippy?
good.
A little bit grippy for the power? Like it's a couple of repeats?
No, it's like
No,
coming
the
on and
first
off.
one was just probably the
It's
line
just-
more than anything.
Laggier down low.
Yeah.
Like if you actually look at the power graph, it's shit down low.
Yeah.
Like you can't even drive it down low if the car was super gripped up.
Hurts up.
But as soon as you feel it like little lazy, I'm just like whoa, 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 whoa. Like
that clutch must be right there because there's a few forwards
the first one wasn't that great, eh?
that's because I like parked it right in the bottom corner, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's when it had like not that much grip out of the corner, but you got to be on the gas to get the grip to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all good.
But I don't think like when you put on a high boost, it doesn't really change it down low. It just gives it that bit more up top, which is where it needs it.
Yeah, it definitely like you got to feather the throttle a little bit more. But the way the suspension works like this is like the more you can load it and get on the throttle,
The better, yeah.
the more it
You
drives.
could see on that last one when you backed it in and stayed on it, like
Yeah,
it sort of
like
drives through.
drove us out of the corner. And then same flicking into that other bit, it was like throttle and it would just be like broop, and then go again.
Whereas
So
the
if you
one
can-
before that, when you went a bit wide, it was like hell unsettled.
Because we were
so-
right on the loose shit as well, and we couldn't get the car to roll,
Yeah.
like to like get the weight transfer. But yeah, the second time, see like flicking it earlier, getting it 2-angle earlier, stayed on the right line, and then it was just throttle and it drove us
Through,
straight back
yeah.
to the inside. So I don't know, it
Sweet.
feels good. Steering feels right, and
Maybe we'll just open the bonnet and check to make sure it's got enough fluid and shit in there.
yeah. The only thing is, yeah, whatever it's doing at the moment, which I think will be level related, and then
What'd you say?
just the steering. It's not heavy, but it's just like a little bit heavier than when we first turned up.
Probably needs
But
a
it
power
could
steering
be-
cooler too. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it could be just the oil getting hot,
I didn't have to think of that because on
but
my
you're not
cars,
going to be doing laps like that
No,
back to back
no.
to back.
But like on all my cars, we run power steering coolers.
So where have you got to go later?
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well that's that then.
Man,
Car sweet.
successful.
That's what we want.
Glad we found that issue earlier on.
Wouldn't have been very good to happen at Mount Smart.
No, we'll just have to check the toe and everything, alignment, and give it a good bolt check over for everything else, and then should be good to go for the weekend.
Yep. Cool. Let's pack up and then we'll get back to yours, load everything up, and we'll head down to Mount Smart.
Let's do it.
good idea.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so we are down here at Mount Smart finally. We're just packed in, got the tents and cars out, unloading the truck. Got Tay pulling all the stuff out, doing some work.
Nah, that's it. We're done for the weekend.
All done. So today we obviously tested the car, got to achieve what we wanted to by making sure the car was going to be good for this round. And yeah, we can't complain really. Obviously we worked out a major problem that we didn't know about, which was obviously that bolt in the back of the suspension. Obviously finding out at a test day is a lot better than finding out in competition. So now we worked that out. We've obviously span checked the rest of the car and everything looks all good now. So we've got to test the car, test the steering, found that problem. Steering feels good. Daz's got to take it for a drive, see what he thinks. What do you reckon?
Feels good. Obviously I didn't get a chance to drive it with the electric power steering hooked up and everything, but definitely with the new KIC pump and everything on it, it's like an impressive car to drive. I think it's like super smooth. You can be at like basically full lock and have one hand on the wheel and just does everything you want. It's obviously got a ton of adjustments with different valving for how much pressure you want. So whether or not we go a little bit harder, even it's sort of set in the middle at the moment. And I think it's probably, to me, it feels light because I'm used to obviously the 35 and that's like ridiculously heavy. So you might like it. It's probably at a good point. And yeah, it doesn't get any bind. It seems to do everything you want it to do.
I mean, at round one we sort of knew that the car had all the good characteristics and it did what we wanted it to. It was just more me being more comfortable with all my cars being mechanical power steering. I think will just be a lot better and less to worry about from a driving aspect. I only have to focus on now learning the engine instead of having to learn the steering, the car and everything else. Like now hopefully I'm hoping that I can go out there and not even think about the steering anymore and just focus on driving.
Makes it a lot easier if you're in a tough situation with a lead car and you've got to make a quick adjustment. And obviously the simpler you can make it or the easier you can make it to turn quickly with one hand on the wheel, if you're like got your other hand on the handbrake or doing something or changing gear or whatever, then it's obviously going to make things better for you in a battle situation.
I've actually showed them either. We should probably show them what the pump looks like, the whole kit and everything as well.
Obviously we've still got like suspension work and stuff to do on it. We can put a ton more mechanical grip in this car, but obviously avoiding doing that because of the clutch issues that we were having in the last round and not having the new clutch until after this round. So we don't want to go put a ton of grip in it and then obviously have issues with that. So I think it'll be good for this weekend as it is, but there's so much more potential in this chassis.
Yeah, I think like I said, we had a good run at round one, just probably a bit unlucky with the call and obviously not being super comfortable in the car, but like I said, now we've obviously made the change to have mechanical power steering. The kit that we put on is a KIC kit with a Raddan bracket mount. Basically just mounts down the bottom there. Runs this belt nice and tight still, which is good. We haven't actually checked it yet since we ran it today. But runs this nice little alley reservoir. We sort of had patched it together with the lines that we had at Darren's shop and what was on the car, but we sort of kept it so in 5 minutes we can change back to the electric power steering if we need to, just for now, because obviously we didn't really get to do a whole lot of testing. We want to make sure that for whatever reason, if it throws a belt or something breaks or we don't like it or whatever, we can just change it straight back. So in the top corner we still have the electric power steering. These lines actually fit straight back onto there, so at worst case, no matter what happens this weekend, if it throws a belt or it fails or I don't like it for whatever reason, we can just switch it back.
Alternative back.
And we can go back to what we knew worked at round one. So I think it's going to be good though. We obviously drove the car today, did what, 4 or 5 laps. Got some good valuable testing in, and if it was going to, I think, cause us any problems, it would have caused it then. And just want to hope for a successful weekend obviously, but yeah, that's the end of today's video guys. Obviously this is probably part 1 of probably 3. Yeah, last round I sort of mucked up a little bit with too much footage and not having a bit of a structure to the footage. So this weekend we're going to try to do a video for today, and then one for tomorrow, and then one for Sunday, and try and take you guys along for the ride and be a bit more detailed on what we do. But yeah, today obviously we just got to test it. Car went good and we're packed in now. Got Tay's car set up next to us. We got Dino, one of the crew members, is driving this weekend in Pro Sport as well. His car's super nice. We'll probably go have a look at that in another video tomorrow, and you guys will get to meet them all along the way. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.